This is an analysis from Alpha Business Media. And today we're digging into a story that's, well, it's hiding in plain sight. You know, all eyes are on the shiny new apps, right? The fancy online stores popping up all over Nepal, but the real story, the real high-stakes game, that's happening out on the streets. This isn't just about online shopping. We're talking about something much bigger, Nepal's logistics gold rush. Just think about that for a second. That's not some weird one-off delivery address in Nepal. That's the norm. And that one sentence, it just perfectly sums up this huge, massive gap between the slick, digital world of ordering something online and the chaotic reality of actually getting that package to your door. And this gets us to the core problem, what we're calling the digital illusion. You know that super smooth, tap-to-buy feeling you get on an app? It makes everything feel so efficient, so seamless. But that illusion, it just completely shatters the second that package leaves the warehouse and has to deal with the real world. So, here's the absolute crucial takeaway. The war for Nepal's e-commerce future, it's not going to be won by the company with the prettiest app or the flashiest ads. Nope, it's going to be won by whoever finally cracks the code of last-mile delivery. At the end of the day, logistics isn't just a part of the business, it is the business. Okay, so why is this so incredibly hard to fix? To really get it, we've got to break down the problem. We need to look at the anatomy of the bottleneck. And that means we have to zoom way in, right down to the most basic, fundamental unit of this whole industry, just one single delivery. Now, the key metric you need to have in your head here is something called cost per delivery, or CPD for short. It's exactly what it sounds like. What's the total direct cost to get one package from the warehouse into the customer's hands? In a healthy, functioning market, this number is something you can predict, you can manage, you can optimize. But in Nepal, it's a volatile monster. So what's making this cost go through the roof? Well, it's not one big thing. It's a whole cascade of small failures. You've got those vague addresses, right? That leads to multiple phone calls. All that wasted time means fewer deliveries can be made in an hour. Then you have the failed attempts, customers not home. And poof, you've just doubled the cost for that one package. And the only solution right now? It's all in the writer's head, a human database that literally walks out the door the day they quit. And here's what that damage looks like in real numbers. Let's say, in a perfect world, a delivery should cost around 60 rupees, but the operational reality, with all those little frictions we just talked about, balloons that cost all the way up to 180 rupees. Think about that. That is a 200% markup created by pure, raw inefficiency, and it's absolutely bleeding sellers dry. This level of inefficiency, it leads to this really weird paradox, something we're calling the marketplace's curse. It's a bizarre situation where all the standard rules of business just get flipped on their head, and growth actually starts to kill your profits. I mean, normally, getting more users is a good thing, right? It makes your network stronger. But here, it's the complete opposite. As a marketplace gets new customers from all these different, scattered areas, it absolutely destroys what's called delivery density. Trying to handle one order way out in Budaniokanta and another in Kirtipur on the same day, it's a logistical nightmare. It drives the average cost per delivery up, not down. So this puts the marketplaces in a truly impossible position. It's a vicious choice. On one hand, you can build your own logistics network, like Duraz did, but then you become this heavy, asset-based company just burning through massive amounts of cash. On the other hand, you can outsource it, but then you're stuck with unreliable service, lost packages, and, this is the big one, cripplingly slow cash-on-delivery payments that can completely suffocate a small business's cash flow. Either way you turn, it's a treacherous path. Okay, so the problem seems massive, almost impossible to solve, right? But what if I told you a solution already exists? We just have to look at a blueprint for success that's already been tested and proven in a market that looks a lot like this one. And we don't need to look to Silicon Valley for this. Forget Amazon, forget FedEx. The best case study is right next door, in India. You know, about a decade ago, India was facing almost the exact same kind of logistics chaos. And the company that cracked the code, the one that basically enabled the growth of giants like Flipkart, was a company called Delivery. So what would a Nepali delivery model actually look like? Well, first you need a powerful, centralized tech platform that any seller can easily plug into. Second, you don't try to replace local knowledge. You embrace it. You build a network of hyperlocal partners who know their neighborhoods inside and out. Third, you set up neighborhood microhubs to create that critical delivery density and speed things up. And finally, the absolute game changer, the killer feature, you solve the cash-on-delivery headache with super fast 24-hour payment turnarounds for sellers. So, with this blueprint on the table, the stage is set for the final act. Let's be real, the current market, all fragmented and chaotic, is just not sustainable. A race to consolidate and professionalize the entire logistics sector, it's not a matter of if, but when. And it's about to begin. And this race, it's probably going to play out in one of two ways. Scenario 1. A well-funded, laser-focused Nepali startup rises to the challenge and becomes the homegrown champion. Scenario 2. A regional giant, maybe even delivery itself, decides to enter the Nepali market through an acquisition, bringing all its money and proven tech along for the ride. So if you're an investor or an entrepreneur looking at this space, where is the real opportunity? I'll tell you where it's not. It's not in building yet another marketplace. That's a bloodbath, a red ocean. The real structural opportunity lies in building the infrastructure. It's about selling the picks and shovels for this gold rush. And let's be absolutely clear about the stakes here. The company that finally cracks this last mile code, they won't just be another successful business. No way. They will literally hold the keys to the entire e-commerce kingdom in Nepal. They will become the silent kingmaker, the one who dictates the winners and losers in the country's entire digital landscape. So here's where we stand. The opportunity is massive. The need is undeniable. And the blueprint is already there. So it all comes down to one single question, a question that's going to define the next decade of digital commerce in Nepal. Who is going to build it?